The breaking news in the arrest of the Idaho suspect, Brian Koberger. I wrestled with whether or not to say her name, but it's not his name, but it's not a terror thing. And he's not a serial killer as far as we know. And I don't think that there's any risk of copycat here, so we say his name. Here's what we know. As soon as he was arrested, information started to come out. Some of it is bogus. Some of this reporting you hear about how he's behaving in the jail, we have good sources there, NewsNation, and they tell us not true, that the person who's given that information must be confused or just flat out wrong. So you got to be careful. The TikTok post from one user who said she knew him in middle school and high school, Casey Arntz, that's legit. It got attention, and rightly so. Casey joins us now live from Virginia. Casey, Happy New Year. Thank you for deciding to talk to us and doing some reporting for us of your own with people from his past.
Of course. I'm glad to be here.
So as you scrub your memories and talk to other people, what now sticks out to you that you think is of the most relevance as perspective for people to know about this person?
Personally, what I'm finding out from former friends and former classmates is that, you know, Brian was bullied when he was younger. He was an overweight kid. When I personally knew him, he was always good to me. Now, over the years, that has changed. I know going into his senior year, he lost a lot of weight. It was then I hear that he might have become the bully. I was not there personally to see that. However, looking back at it, knowing how he knows my brother, knowing now how he knows my other friends, I wouldn't put it past him, because my brother has come out and said that he was bullying him when he was friends with him. I don't know if that's a lot on his character. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's just insight into what this guy is about at a formative time in his life, which, of course, is high school. And he's only 28, so it's not like, you know, he's my age or something. So this is a formative time. Also, you know for sure that he had addiction issues, and profound ones. We're not talking about vaping. That's bad enough. But this was a heroin addict. He says he went to rehab, and you had experience with him using you to try to get drugs, right?
Yes, he did use me, and I didn't know at the time that he was using me to drive him to get heroin until probably a couple of days afterwards. It triggered me in a way, because I didn't know that I could have been put in such a compromising position from him. But yeah, he definitely struggled with heroin addiction in high school.
You know, one of the reasons that addicts are sometimes pejoratively referred to as fiends is because they can be very devious in finding ways to get drugs. That's what you experienced. But sometimes it's not just the addiction, it is character. And you're saying through your brother and others, the idea that he would want to trick somebody, that he would want to play a game on somebody and have them believe things, or that he could get away with convincing people of things, was part of who this guy was.
Yes. And from my experience, I never saw it firsthand, but my brother definitely has. Apparently he was belittling my brother. He was making him, you know, just seem kind of stupid and slower. And Brian always had to be the smartest person in the room when he was with my brother. It was like he was undermining him and just putting him down. And my brother cut ties with him because of this, because it got too much of a torment for him.
Now, look, we got to let the process play out, but it is already, I can tell you, with well over 20 years experience, very unusual that somebody who did nothing wrong says nothing. Now, people can say, well, that's the right way to play the system, and he is a criminologist, and that's what, but most people don't. If they get caught for something that they didn't do, they talk about that. And all the reporting we have is that he says almost nothing. He's spending most of his time in jail, NewsNation has learned, sleeping. He's not protesting his innocence, that he asked a single question of, has anybody else been arrested? How does that square with the person you knew in terms of acting normal in situations?
Honestly, in my opinion, and after talking with my brother for the past couple of days, it seems almost like he's trying to throw off law enforcement.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.